On today's spooky toy spot, we're going to be having a look at the Friday the 13th 25th anniversary box set. This is the box set that contains not only Pamela Voorhees, but also the sack head Jason, or the sack masked Jason, from Friday the 13th Part 2. We'll get more into the actual figures when I get this guy opened up. However, in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll look at the packaging itself. So we get Pamela Voorhees, the poor severed head of Pamela Voorhees down below here, as well as the sacked Jason. On the side here, kill her, mommy, kill her. We have Pamela on the side here looking very sinister. On the back, just a couple of different areas of the diorama. There's like the skeleton here, some of the candles. I think you guys can see some of the candles. Pamela here. There's this picture of her base, masked Jason, the alternate head on Jason. Really, really nice. And then on the other side, we have the one of the cast members of Hee Haw. No, that's actually Jason Voorhees. But there you have the box on the 2-pack. What I'll actually do is I'll get this opened up and we will have a closer look at the set. So stay tuned. And probably one of the first things you guys will notice is just the vast number of accessories this set comes with. I mean, you get a plethora of weapons here. You get a nice pickaxe. You get not only a bow, but also an arrow, which is kind of neat. Oops, there goes Jason. Back into place for the time being. You get of course you get the machete. I think every Jason, the quota seems to be every Jason has to have at least one machete. You get the pitchfork. You also get the spear. You get a axe. Interesting axe too. I mean, it doesn't look like most axes either. Rather interesting. And you get Jason's head, but I'll get into that in a second. If we look at the figures first, I'll unpeg old Pamela here and get a look at the figure. I'm a bit underwhelmed by this particular Pamela. I don't know, I don't think the hair color is right. I don't remember her hair being like that kind of brown. It's kind of like a dirty blonde, but I don't know. The coloring on the face too seems a little off. It's got a really like a pinkish hue. A pinkish hue, is that right? I don't know. I don't. It's nice to have gotten a Pamela, especially if you have the other Jasons from the other movies. But I don't know. I'm not too happy with the face on this Pamela. It just seems a little off. Of course, she's got her blue sweater on. Pretty good detailing on the sweater. You can kind of see all the ribbed stitching or all the knitting on it. Now, in the way of her articulation, she has a ball joint in her head, and she has a swivel in the arm. That's about all she can do. She has a swivel in the elbow. Her hand can rotate, her wrist. Same idea with this arm. Doesn't look like she can turn at the waist though, and her feet can turn ever so slightly. So that's pretty much Pamela in a nutshell. She's also sporting a knife via a little clear elastic keeping it in there. But I mean, certainly you could swap it out if you want with the machete, or if you want to give her the axe, for example. I probably will just keep the knife in her hand though. I think it probably makes more sense to give her the knife. But there's Pamela there. Put her to the side, or actually, you know what? We'll peg her back into her base here. And now we'll have a look at Jason. Now this Jason was reissued in, what was it, NECA Hall of Fame NECA Cult Classics Hall of Fame. And it seems, to me, it seems like it's the exact same figure. The only difference is that it didn't come with all the other accessories. I think it did, and I don't have the figure, so I don't honestly know, but I think this Jason in the Hall of Fame also came with a Pamela head. I may or may not be right about that one, but nice detailing on Jason's mask. You can even see his single eye hole there. For some reason, I really like the hooded Jason in part 2. Very menacing, especially when he's running. The people are running through the forest, and actually, I'll give him the pickaxe here, or the pitchfork. Give him the pitchfork. You know what? By the time I get this in, I'm going to lose my train of thought. There we go. One thing I remember from the movie is where the people are running through the forest, and you can see Jason running behind him, and the shadows kind of going over his face as he's running. I always thought that scene always stands out to me. So it's nice to finally have him with a hood. I think that's awesome. We'll put the pitchfork down for a second. Really nice detailing on the Jason. I mean, he's got the same articulation. He's got articulation in the head, although this particular mask kind of hinders it. He's got a ball joint in his shoulders. He's got a swivel rotation in his elbow. He can turn at the wrist. Again, though, nothing in the waist, though, no articulation, but he can turn at the boots in his feet. Speaking of his waist, though, I mean, look at all the look at all the sculpting that was done with his overalls here. Really, really nice. It looks, you can see all the dirt and everything on it, and I like the folds. It's one thing that NECA's really good at, and that's sculpting like folds and like little wrinkles and stuff in fabric. I may or may not have touched his crotch there, but lots of little detailing of the shadowing that they put in the wrinkles. One other thing that's interesting too, and this part always bothered me in the movie, is that you can actually, I don't know if the camera's even going to get this, but you can actually see he's got a blackened nail on his thumb. And I think I always was grossed out when I saw that in the movie. I think he's holding the knife. I think he was holding the knife, but you can see him reaching towards somebody, and all you can look at is this blackened thumb. And they actually put that in the figure, which was pretty cool. Now, what I was saying earlier, he does come with an alternate head. You can actually take this head off, and you can put that to the side, and you can also put on a human face of Jason. And I use the term human very loosely. I still to this day, most of the earlier Friday the 13th had it. The later ones really didn't. But what I liked about the earlier Friday the 13th were the fact that there was always that shocker kind of twist ending where someone sprung up, whether it be the young Jason in part 1, the mother in part 2. She came out of the water? No, she coming out of the water. No, that was part 3. But then in part 2, I still remember when the girl is against the glass, and then all of a sudden Jason comes out of the glass and goes, "Rrr!" and then like pulls her in. Love that. I thought that's probably still one of the coolest endings for a Friday the 13th movie, is that one. But lots of detailing on the face. He's got the red hair, very, very deformed. He's got a bit of stubble. You can see he's kind of got the hillbilly kind of look to him. Very, very cool though. Very cool. We'll put him on his base. And then what we'll do is we'll actually, we'll get him actually on his base here. Sometimes the peg holes, there we go. Sometimes the peg holes are smaller in their feet than the actual pegs. We'll just move these guys aside just for a second, and we'll concentrate on the actual diorama, the base that they come with. And a very, very cool looking base. Hopefully all the camera can get all of this. You can see here that Jason's put Pamela's sweater here. And you've got her head. The head seems a little wrong to me. It seems a little longer than what it should be. I don't know. I don't remember her head looking like that. But you've got her severed head there, and then the little memorial that he's put up for her with all the candles. And then there's a skeleton here as well. Very, very cool. Definitely a nice piece to display. I mean, if there's no reason why you'd want to keep this display in a box. If you ask me, put it in all of its glory on display. And 'cause, I mean, that's really the way it should be. I mean, they were designed to be put on display, not to be kept in a box. But I mean, there you go. I mean, there's a spooky toy spot. And that was the 25th anniversary box set of Friday the 13th, which contained not only Pamela Voorhees from the first Friday the 13th, contained the Sack Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2, and we also got the additional, I moved her out of the way, we also had the additional diorama base with Pamela's severed head. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and with that, I'll see you next time. Later.